And here we are. Hi, Anna. Lovely to see you again for our Entrepreneurs Conversations. Hi, everybody who is coming on or watching the replay. Today we have quite an interesting subject or topic. And so I'm going to introduce our topic. First, I'd like to introduce Anna and say, hi, Anna. Would you like to say hello to everybody as well?
Hello, Karen, and hello to the world. Thank you. So
Okay.
happy to see you today. Yeah.
And me too. You look beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
And so Anna's done some really great prep for this session. So I'm going to let Anna actually take the reins with this mainly. I will do a tiny bit of introduction and then we'll just go from there. So today we're going to explore together, Anna and I, the technology, actually, it's a technology of how we navigate through life's tougher terrains and challenges that we get. And the more difficult moments that we all have had or will have, believe it, you will have those dark times in your life that we require the hero in us to come out. And those times we sometimes feel like we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, or the light is definitely not shining on us, on our circumstances or our situations. And I'm sure that most people on this call or watching the replay will think of times when they felt like that. And we call that the dark night in my coaching and in the historical times, and what Anna's going to talk about as well, is we refer to it as our dark night. And so what I want to do is talk about establishing a set point or a mindset point of how we can use even those dark nights, those most difficult times in our lives, to catapult ourselves forward, not because of it, but because of how we went through it, because everything that is given to us teaches us. We learn from everything, even the most challenging times that we wouldn't wish on anyone. And so even if nothing else, the learning we get from those times is our gift. So pretty much everything that comes to us, whether it's good, bad, challenging, a dark night, is really a gift that brings us to where we are now. So if we all keep breathing, which we're grateful we do every day, and that we wake up every morning breathing and awake, we're going to create results in our lives anyway.
Regardless, yes.
That's correct.
One way or another, we was born, we live through life, and I like the analogy of a river. Like our life is like a river that keeps flowing, and every part of that river is beautiful in one way or another, whether it gets stuck and let it go over the mountain and let it go down, it finds the way through to go downstream. And I think life is like that. The further we go, the wider it gets. Yeah, we get to the bigger river, and then we get to the sea. And if we decide to get stuck and stay in the stagnant, what do you build upon? And when the drought comes, all the water will be evaporated and turned into something else. And talking about the hero inside of us, Karen, I used to question. I wonder why growing up I love watching hero movie. Disney, all the Disney movie, and then later on I've learned the structure of her hero journey, and we can break it down and see that how it's applied to our life. And I thought that would be wonderful thing to talk about. So sometimes we go to the movie, we don't know why it's so attractive and catching. And whenever I feel bad, I feel low, I feel doubted, in life in general, let alone in the entrepreneur ring journey, which we face even more challenges because we risk our capital, we risk investing money in something that we won't see the results straight away. And like you go to work, doesn't matter how much you earn from work, you know that you only work when people paying us at the end of a period of that payment, whether fortnightly or monthly. But when we start up a business, nothing guarantee that we get paid equally the amount we invest in. So that's the risk we take. So with that, we need more the hero in us than actually, going to find a job. Going to find a job is it's hard. We still have to invest in ourselves beforehand. Like we invest in the education, 4 years of a university degree. That was the investment that we took. But most of us believe that it guarantees a job at the end of the university degree. Yeah, so we invest 30,000, 60,000, or whatever. We took the debt, head debt, or mom and dad lending us money to study. And then we're willing to take that risk because we believe that when we graduated, we get something, we'll get a job. We might pay it back slowly, or we pay it back in lump sums, whatever. But entrepreneur is a journey that is not guaranteed. And that's why more so that we need the hero in us to come out. And related to that, I like to see the structure of all core storytelling in Disney movies actually have a structure. It doesn't, and that's why it captures us. It introduces a hero with a setup introduced to the world, ordinary world, and then something going on, and then meet the hero, and everyone will, oh, there it is, that's the hero. And then is that hero you, Karen, me, every one of us? Yeah. But they picked the story to tell the ordinary person decided to face an incident or to go for a challenge, to go for something worth going, and then they never succeed straight away. There's always multiple failed attempts. And in recent movie, there are more failures than before.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, but in recent movie, I saw that they create not just one failed attempt, they create multiple times that make us go, oh, you thought that they come out winning, but they know, they give you another hit that go even lower, like, oh, you thought the main character hit the rock bottom already, but no, they keep giving even worse, and create a worse situation for the hero, and that make us feel like, oh, is there any hope? Yeah. So for that, would you like to take the next part of the hero journey?
Yeah, well, what I want to say is that anytime we're in it, I just changed us and we've gone closer, but anyway, I hope that's okay. I changed the background or format. So anytime we're in a dark time in our lives, a very challenging time, and of that particular juncture in our lives, let's look at the possibility and the potentials and the requirement of it for a hero's journey. And so what I want to say is, first of all, we want to learn how to have the circumstances of that situation, of that dark time, how to have those circumstances without allowing them to have us, because there's a big difference. And then how to have that very difficult moment in human history without the moment having us. How to harvest the good. Remember I said to you, everything is a gift. How to harvest the good that is in every situation, no matter how scary it is, how fearful it is, how scary it seems, and what those circumstances are there to teach us, what the lesson is that we're being given, and then also how to use those circumstances once the hero steps in to create a new beginning. So you work through, it's a little bit like going through grief, isn't it? So you work through those processes, and then it's like the hero shows themselves rescues the situation or rescues you, which is the hero within you, and you start a new beginning from a new place of learning from the experience. What do you think, Anna?
Yes. However, I see the structure, like you said. I'm looking forward to hearing how you tell people how people, helping people to overcome when they hit challenge, they faces challenges, hit rock bottom, or like in Disney movie.
Yeah.
The hero
Yeah.
often have a call. First of all, they have to have the call to something greater inside of them, or the society call for help.
That's right.
And then someone decided to come out and be that person to solve the problem, big or small. So one person decided to, that's me. And that can be you, that can be me, that can be anyone who decided, oh, there's a problem to be solved. And I put my hand up to do that. Yeah, entrepreneurship is about that. We put our hand up. We're willing to go out there and solve a problem, whether it's big or small. Some people solve the problem of skincare because people care about their skin. And if they don't know how to care for it, it go downhill, for example. And then someone put their hand up and create a wonderful product to care for the skin. That is solving the skin problem. Or someone caring for cancer. Someone put their effort into research to create machine that you've been telling me about, the machine that help our blood flow better, create that flow in our bloodstream to be healthier longer. Or someone have a problem of, like I'm a mom. I want to create my success in life without compromise because I'm a mom. I want to be a mom, an influencer, the major influencer on my daughter without trading my professional life. I want time, I want money, I want impact in the world as well, for example. And I believe a lot of moms wanted that, but they don't know how. I put my hand up and say, this is me. I want to solve this problem for myself and find a way to solve the problem. But then I had fear, I had doubt, I didn't know how. And in the movie, you see that they puzzle. I don't know how. And then they go out there and somehow they meet a mentor. It's always the case.
Yeah.
Yoda,
Yeah.
somebody like in a big movie, there's always someone wiser sitting there waiting for the person who dare to go ahead with it. And they will be there willing to give us lessons. So the person have more confidence to take the next step, to take the next leap. But you have to take it. You are the solver, the problem solver. You are the one to take that step. So the next step in the journey is always that decision to take that step under the guidance of a mentor. And that doesn't mean that they go and take the step, they don't face challenge. Because the first time you do something, you don't know how. No matter what you get the knowledge. But when you actually do it, it's another issue, isn't it? We face challenge when we say, oh, I am so incompetent. That is when the first time you face the truth that, oh, for this journey, for this, what this, you call it, vision, mission, I haven't got what it takes to actually win. So you have to face a lot of failure along the way. And how do you overcome? That is, I would like to hear from you, Karen.
So on that point, that's a lovely place for you to stop and ask me, because having circumstances or the situation that seem bigger than us, the challenge, the problem that seem bigger than us, is really part of the hero's journey. Because when you say, I have a big problem, or I've got a big thing to do, or something awful, huge, I don't know how to deal with it, has happened, we actually make ourselves small by doing that. Because when we say something is bigger than us, we're saying we're smaller than that. And so part of the hero's journey is being able to step in or find the hero in us that can say, no, I'm the hero, I can help you with this. And in the book, there's a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. Have you heard of it, Anna?
I've heard of the book, but I haven't read it. No.
Well, it's about how in all cultures and methodologies, and why in ancient Greek methodology, to get to the other side, the castle, true love, the winning trophy, there's always a dragon to slay. You know all these stories, the huge river to get across, the mountain to climb, or the ring of fire. It's just the actual circumstance around it looks different to our particular dark night and our challenge. And all of those stories in history have a genius coded within their stories to teach us about the dark night of the soul. And so that's what we're talking about, is that look at the stories about the hero's journey. Look at the stories in the deep myths of history about the lessons and meaning and the genius that is coded in them, and how to reveal to us parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that are there to transcend that challenge or that dark time. Because in essence, while it's dark because there are a lot of unknowns, that's what we call the dark night, is the dark night because of our humanness, really. And our humanness loves to have full light shine on our problems and on us, on our circumstances, on our situations. We like to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And while it's dark in those regards, when we're in that dark place and we can't see that, it's also the rhythm of our life. And it's a required moment in our evolution, in our spiritual evolution, or the evolution of our soul. It's required, or we don't evolve. And so not all of them are the deepest dark night. Not all of them are the deepest soul reckoning moments. However, they are our learning times. They are the times when we can find the hero within, find the solution, like you said, Anna. People say solutions. I look at solutions. I hear that from a lot of entrepreneurs and people who change the world. Those people look for solutions, not problems. So when we go, well, what is the answer? What is the solution? What can I do to get through this? What is a very powerful word to ask when we are searching for answers. Not how, but what. What can I do? And who? What and who are two of the most powerful questions to ask. Who can help me with this? Who can I ask who may know someone who can help me, or may know someone who's interested, or may know someone who wants to learn about this, right? What and who? Those are the things. And yeah, and so
for the who is really interesting though, Karen. Like when for years I go about my life facing a lot of problems, and I felt like I can handle this. I'll read something, or I can overcome this. And growing up in hardship, I felt like I'm so capable, and that somehow I built a little like secret, arrogant without even knowing. So at some point, I lost that humbleness to actually go and ask questions. I so worried about, what if I ask a silly question? I should know this, like I got stuck in, I don't know how to find a cleaner. And I still feel like I go and dig and dig and dig and find a cleaner myself, rather than maybe my next door neighbor have a good cleaner they can trust. Open up your mind and be humble and ask. Is something at some point I lost that, the humility, the good intention, rather than trying to be perfect in front of everybody, with any interaction. Or try to be showing that I got what it takes, I'm okay, my life is all good. And deep down I knew that there's something else that I need to know, but I didn't know yet. So that whole, sometimes because of that, we sit in front of the people who might have the answer to our biggest problem. We are incapable of asking for help. And asking for help is I used to look at it as a sign of weakness, right? And no one want to admit that we are not strong enough, right? And so with that advice of yours, I appreciate it now so much more than if you told me that in my, early 40, I would say, why do I need to ask for help? I've got a good job. I've got a good life. I can handle it. I could do, so many things. And that is the something in the strong women that I found. We might fall into that trap of thinking that we can do it all. But being humble to acknowledge that we can do more, and acknowledge that we have limited knowledge just learning by ourselves, and so we can open up and connect with others and absorb more from ways to be successful without trading so much is something that I like to take on board. And I take note here. I look into the hero with 1,000 faces. I think in Buddhism, there's the Buddha statue with 1,000 hands. Yeah, that are pretty similar to the concept. I imagine a hero with 1,000 faces. Like in everyday life, we see hero happen everywhere. We see people who during COVID, there are people who risk their life to be on the frontier to help save people, nurses, doctors, and those people who help. For me, those are heroes in everyday life. Do they face their fears? They did. Did they face their challenges? I'm sure they did. They went out and they did it. They overcome their fear to be there and help. So who am I to sit here do nothing? I want to do something. I want to take part in everyday life, to be caring for my daughter, caring for my husband, caring for my family, caring for my daughter, friends and family, and, find the solutions that I can be part of. So that is the overcome the biggest challenge for me, is to overcome my fear of being judged, fear of being thought of as incapable, and that fear of being small and then not seeking for help so that I can grow stronger. Like, mentor came, but we might not accept their help. And if we don't listen to their help, and then we see that in movies as well. Like sometimes the hero meet the mentor and mentor gave them advice and they went away. They didn't believe that and they did whatever. They believed themselves and they failed. And then finally they have to admit to it. And then went back to the mentor and say, I now know, master, give me whatever you really think that I need to do. And that make them greater than life. When we actually admit to the wisdom of the world, presented itself through mentors, through people who are ahead of us, then we start to grow. Isn't that true? What do you think?
Yes, I agree. And I'm going to unwind up in a minute. And so I just I agree with everything you've said, Anna, and great points. So I just want to recap on a couple of things. When the dark night comes upon you, not if, but when. So the skill set that we're developing here while we're talking is whatever forms of that when the dark night comes upon you, and the initiation points for the next domains of your being. So it looks like a dark night. It looks like circumstances bigger than you, outside your control, and it will feel like that. The dark night is inevitable. If you haven't had one already, you will have one in your life. You're lucky if you've got through so far, depending on how old you are, without one. Like a child probably hasn't had one. Many children may not have had one yet. However, as soon as you become adults, the chances of a dark night are quite huge as you progress through life. So the dark night experience is inevitable by each of us. When the dark night comes, the dark night of the soul, so by St. John of the Cross I mentioned, he writes, when the dark night comes upon you, not if. And so the dark night, you want to welcome it in a way. At the time you won't, but I want to present this way of looking at it. The dark night births the next version, the next larger version of you, of me, of us. It births the next version, the next larger version. The dark night of the soul, yeah, absolutely, isn't it? The dark night of the soul is a time when something greater is seeking to emerge in us.
I love that. Yes. What a powerful message.
Very powerful. That's why this is so powerful to work through this work. And the dark moment is a required moment in the evolution of our own soul. Like I said, if we don't have dark moments, we won't be evolving. And what's coming to get you is you, a higher experienced expression of you, more capacity in you, more understanding of yourself, and more connection to that in you that is infinite, the infinite part of you. So you're more than this condition that you come across, or this circumstance or situation. And you're greater than any circumstance that you can find yourself in. Know that. And know that the dark nights are a way to help you discover it. And so the hero's journey is that hero in you coming out and helping you to move to a bigger version of yourself. Or the infinite, you who is the infinite part of you.
I so believe in that, Karen. I so believe in that we either choose to be stuck in it. Sometimes we stay inside of that dark night moment. When we stay inside that, it become one. And we identify ourselves as that. It's so easy. It's so powerful. It draws you in, and you identify yourself as that weak and horrible, negative, impossible, and so on. But if we can somehow take ourselves out, just say, I detach ourselves a little bit and observe this from above. Just like sitting in the theater, seeing somebody else's movie, and that's why I like about Disney movie. You can see that from as an audience watching it, then you might see, hey, there's a way. So the greater part of yourself will appear right there and then. Yeah. It's more so only when you detach yourself, otherwise you'll be identifying yourself attached to that one, and you feel like you have no way out. You feel like you have no power. It totally control you and overpower. Yeah, it totally take you, and the hero in you somehow becomes submissive to that. So detach yourself is sometimes you need a person sitting with you and say, hey, let's look at this from a different angle. Imagine if you are from, a neighbor looking at your own life. What would you think? Imagine if you are, a saint or something that you believe in, looking at you, what would they say? And somehow that greater part of you come out. I so love the words that you just deliver. And with that, there's so many ways to get out of ourselves, get out of our dark night of the soul moments to be the hero and, find the way out and find the climax and then find the solution and come back winning. Like what we love about Disney movie is always the hero always wins, always come out with a new solution, revolution, bring home the trophy. They represent the winning in an object that solve the problem. and then they return back to ordinary life until something significant happen again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. And so just my last comment would be, when we find ourselves in that dark time, that dark night, we can allow the experience to either shake us or shape us. And we can either get bitter and angry or become the victim to that condition. People do that. In which case, the experience will shake us. Or we can use that exactly the same energies as an evolutionary driver to take us into the whole next dimension of possibility of ourselves and allow the experience to shape us. So that's something for me to give you to ponder, think about, and decide whether you allowed something to shake you or shape you in the past. And if you did, put your ego out of the way, move forward, and decide how you're going to allow the next dark night that comes into your life to shape you. Or if it shaped you, well done, and make sure have means in place to make sure the next time the dark night comes that it will also shape you. Because of a lot of it, as we're talking about, is about how we respond, the questions we ask, and the attitude we take to move forward.
So in conclusion, I truly enjoyed our conversation with the notion that you mentioned. We're all going through a journey in life, and the dark night of the soul will appear here and there when the challenge comes. And it's like our ordinary life or in entrepreneurship journey, we will face challenges. Do we act as we go through the journey, like the hero journey, we face it, we go with that call, and we seek guidance, we overcome our fear, we build belief that the moment actually shake you, and then you learn from it to believe in the greater part of you that know the solution and come out, overcome, seek guidance, and keep going. Let the hero win and come out of it. Detach ourselves from the dark moment to learn a lesson and evolve from it. Yeah. So it is possible. We are not alone. There's help available in the world when we actually surrender and to that fact that sometimes we sit in the dark. We find that we might not have the answer, but we can find the answer from seeking wisdoms elsewhere, and then come back to ourselves and judge with a heightened new level of understanding. Yeah. Do you have the last word before we say goodbye to everyone who watched this video later?
Yeah, you did that beautifully, Anna. And so I'd just like to add, ask, as you said, if you're in a dark place or a difficult time or a challenge, ask for help. People love to help, and we don't like to ask. And, I had a friend recently who was putting on a fundraising event, and she was overwhelmed with everything. She said, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. There's no time. There's nothing. I don't know what to do." And I said, "Who can help you? Ask for help. Find some help." And I went to the event. It was beautiful. It was lovely. Everyone stepped up to help her. It was amazing. And she admitted that, we're not good askers. And when we ask, people love to give. So it's a gift to others to let people give to us. It's a gift to them. So ask for help, whatever it is. Remember, we can ask. We don't have to struggle through things on our own. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for watching this, and we will see you in a month next time for our next topic, which we will let you know in a little while what that will be. Or do we know already, Anna?
Yeah. That's it for now. Bye for now. See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye. Thank you.